Hello all, the Healing Oracle here, back with another video. This one describing what dimensions are and what I mean by the fractalized universe. First of all, I do want to begin by thanking you all for your continued support and love. I do appreciate that. Thank you for subscribing and setting for alerts so you don't miss anything. And just a pre-congratulations that the Healing Oracle page on Facebook is just about ready to reach 10,000 likes and follows. So it's already reached 10,000 follows. We're trailing not too far behind on the likes. So I appreciate it all. Thank you all so very much. So I'm going to just get right into it. Back when I first started the page and started doing live feeds on the Facebook page, The Healing Oracle, I described a lot about what dimensions were. So, and I didn't mean for this to happen, but these videos are kind of building on each other. So when I speak about dimensions, I'm speaking about the different frequencies, the levels of frequencies. So dimensions are not places or uh, uh, places of being, rather. It's more of a perception and understanding. It's more of a level of understanding. And it's all going to depend on what frequency you have set your perception to. It's a perception of reality, is what a dimension is. It's got nothing to do with a physical place in space or time space, okay? So I want to go back a little bit and kind of build on the previous video on frequency and vibration. So again, frequency is a vibrational rate of consciousness. So it's the sound that it makes. So everything, as I said, including matter, is energy vibrating at its own certain frequency. So different states or properties of objects are created by their different frequency rates. As the frequency rate rises, the more information is made available to the person perceiving. Okay, so that would be you, for example. Okay, the information has always been there, but it's like once you access its specific frequency that it is presenting itself in time space, then you have access to it. Okay, this means that you're entering new dimensions for yourself. Okay, again, I said a dimension is a level of consciousness. It's a level of frequency. So, like, take the third dimension, which is what we perceive as physical reality at this time. For example, and I don't know the exact, let's say that the third dimension is 400 hertz, okay? All right, and then the fifth dimension is 500 hertz, okay? So, as at 400 hertz in a third dimension, we're going to perceive anything that vibrates at 400 and below. When we start raising our own vibrational frequency, and say we're at 450 and 460, okay, because we've done our high frequency diets and our personal inner work on our own light and our own love, then we're going to start perceiving more and more things that are vibrating at a lighter rate. So eventually we're going to be seeing things that may resonate at 500 hertz. Okay. All right. So when we're operating at higher frequency, again, means you have more frames per second moving through your consciousness, and there is more information on those frames. But also you have to take into consideration that you're able to process these. I think that reading it and seeing it is totally different thing than sitting down and processing it and truly understanding it. So when you're vibrating higher, you're going to understand it. You're going to process it also. Okay. Raising your frequency is like upgrading to a computer screen that's got more pixels, okay, or a TV screen that's got more pixels, higher definition, you know, that kind of thing. So, and, you know, operating at the higher frequency rate also allows you to kind of like switch between the channels a little bit better, so to speak, if you're comparing to TV again. Okay. My guides always come through to me and helping me understand that it's like comparing yourself to a hard drive, a computer hard drive. Okay, and you've got such a loud space. Okay, and you've got such a loud processing speed. And when you expand your consciousness, you expand your awareness. Okay, to again a level of consciousness, a higher dimension, a higher frequency. Then you upgrade your hard drive to more space, higher processing speeds. Okay. Alright, so as far as third dimension physical reality, it's a projection, okay, that's kind of being reflected of your higher mind in your inner world. Okay, everything outside is more of a reflection of what's going on inside. And then we also have, you know, us as a collective. Okay, so a lot of things that we see in this world is a mere reflection of what's going on collectively inside. Okay. And I have to say too that I feel like each emotion is a different dimension to itself, because, you know, in the last video I was explaining, you know, each emotion has its different vibrational frequency rate. So I feel like when we enter happiness, we enter a different perception. Well, that's a whole nother dimension to itself. So I feel like, you know, happiness would be its own dimension, because we're going to perceive things totally different than if we were in a state of guilt or shame. That's a completely different dimension. We're going to perceive things on a more negative dimension than we were if we stayed in the happiness realm. So I hope that makes sense to you all. Another thing to remember, like when you're learning to like shift your frequency to more higher states, more elevated states of consciousness, again, that would be shifting into higher dimensions, higher frequencies. All that energetic frequencies are equally valid, and the frequency you're presently choosing, is just your preference in this now moment. It is just a matter of what you're preferring, okay? Higher frequencies, quote, are literally lighter, as I stated before. Lighter. They are lighter. The less dense. They take up less space inside of your energetic and etheric bodies. So, lighter. Okay. A lower, okay, or more dense energy would be one that would be slower, okay? So a higher frequency is faster, making it less physical and weight, okay, so to speak, and more light, okay, again. So what can you do to kind of shift your frequency? So, really, we're all playing like a physical reality game here, okay? And in this incarnation, and part of the game is to like ground the energy into physical reality, so you can kind of complete the energetic circuit there. So us as a collective we can only change our outside world and what we're seeing by starting with ourselves first. It starts inside, it starts with you, it starts with me on the inside. We need to stop trying to change our physical reality around us. We need to stop trying to change others. We gotta stop physically participating in frequencies like war and manipulation, segregation, okay? They have a polarizing effect towards the negative, okay? And they're of denser frequency. When you are physically compassionate towards others, you're kind, you work together willingnessly, you know what I mean. Um, and you see similarities, okay, and then love each other like you would love yourself, okay? You treat others how you would physically like to be treated. If you wouldn't like it done to you, then don't do it, okay? Okay, so your frequency of what you're operating on is what is creating your experience, okay? So again, that's what we're going to perceive. When we're in a happy state of mind, we're going to perceive everything happy. When we're in a negative state of mind, we're going to perceive everything around us. We're going to see the negativity in everything. What we're going to look for, what we're looking for, we're going to find, okay? Um, So, circumstances are not creating your state of being, okay? Your state of being is creating your circumstances, as I said, okay? When you define that everything happens in your life as positive, it does not matter what happens. Why care what happens if you know that whatever happens is going to have a positive effect? If it is all for your own benefit, then you can let go of caring about the circumstances, relax, and enjoy the journey. What needs to happen will happen in perfect timing. The higher self conceives, the physical self perceives, and the brain receives. Your higher self has the steering wheel, and it knows what it's doing, okay? Let it drive. Let your physical self observe the ride and work together with the higher self, doing what is it instructed to do. That is all there is to it. You come into this world already having agreed to what circumstances and what situations, experiences that you would like to have, okay? And we do have like a buffet of items, okay? Different timelines, different time space, different states of being are all going to play in on that, okay? But if you came into this world knowing um, and understanding with the care that you would like to have a certain experience, say a certain marriage with a certain person, okay, and you don't do it the first time around, because we do all have that choice, okay, we have the choice. It is up to us. We could go a totally different way. That's where free will comes in. But when it comes down to it, and you have designed yourself to have that marriage with that person, the opportunity is going to keep coming back around until that does take effect. So moving on, I know I've used the term density, okay, and I want to kind of explain a little bit of that, and that kind of goes into, the fractalized universe. So density is a term used to indicate like how dense something is. Okay, it's used in a scale to kind of note the differences of frequencies between realities. So using a 7 density scale, we are currently 3rd density. That is how we are perceiving our physical reality right now. But we are in the middle of shifting to 4th density. So we are actually considered 3rd, 4th density transitional right now. Okay, so, um, on top of that, we are shifting from 3rd dimensional reality to 5th dimensional reality. And when I say that we are skipping over the 4th, because 4th is essentially time, okay, and time doesn't work the way that we understand it to be now with our 3rd density minds, but that is a whole nother video that would take hours to try to explain, and I'm not sure, being who I am, that I fully understand it and grasp it yet. Okay, so our third density reality, it's designed to be kind of limiting and segregative. Okay, well, that's what they want us to focus on, and by they, I mean the powers that be, the media. Okay, they want us to focus on how slow it is and how difficult it is and how negative things are. Okay, and this is why we need to stop getting involved in all the politics and the media and who says what and who says why and how. Okay, they're wanting us to focus on all of that and focus on them telling us that we're limited. Okay, we're not. So when we're shifting into fourth density like we are, we start understanding that things are a little bit deeper than that, and we're more than just our physical bodies. We're integrating our spirit. We're integrating energy. We're integrating our etheric bodies, okay, into our perception, into our physical reality, or what we perceive as physical, okay. All right. So third density, we're focused on individuality and separation from other human beings. We're not, but it's a physical and third density mind. That's what we perceive. Okay. Earth. Beings beyond Earth, the source of who you are and where you came from, the connection to all that is, the fact that we are all one and the same thing. Okay, that's that is beginning to understand and transition into fourth density once we start understanding those things. Okay, but in third density, time, space, and space-time and matter are all solid and fixed. Okay, and unchanging. When we start understanding that, again, things are a little bit deeper than that, then we start integrating our fourth density mind. Okay, fourth density is more expansive and integrative, as I said. Its focus is on the harmonious blending of each individuality with everyone and everything around you. We start understanding that, hey, yeah, we are connected, okay, spiritually, energetically, wholly, collectively. When you start understanding things and operating from a fourth density frequency, you know that you're a multidimensional being. Change is fast and easy. Time, space, and space-time are malleable, flexible, and fluid. You know that you're connected to all that is, and you understand how you're connected with other beings. At the same time, you're still your own individual entity. So I want to end this video really quickly here and give a quick description on what fractalized means. So it is basically the theory is that the universe is a giant Fibonacci sequence. So whatever you're seeing big, it's going to mirror that small, which I totally agree with, because when you take what we learned in biology, science, chemistry class, whatever, what a molecule is and the atom is, and then around the atom you have the protons and the electrons and how they rotate around. Take a look at the sun and its planets, or any star and its planets. They rotate the exact same way. So when we're speaking of fractalized, we're speaking about microcosm and macrocosm. So microcosm would be, again, the protons and electrons and the atoms and that, and macrocosm being, a star and its planets. And then the galaxy is the same way. You take the galaxy, every galaxy has a central sun, okay, and then all the stars and all the solar systems rotate around it. This is what we're talking about, and it's also the same for energetic forms. What's happening internally is happening externally. And then one last thing on fractalization and how that works is sacred geometry. Okay, and I'm not going to go too far into it, because that too I can make a whole nother video on, and I will. So when we take a look at leaves and put them under tree leaves and put them under a microscope, you're going to see geometric patterns as well as honeycombs and wood and any element or anything in this physical reality. You put it under you put it under a microscope and you're going to see geometric patterns, okay? And then you take a look at what I want you to do, your homework for after you watch this video. Yes, I'm giving you homework, but it's super easy, I promise. What I want you to do is get on Google, seriously, and type in, okay, galaxies and their geometric form. What NASA doesn't want us to know and what they filter out is the fact that most, if not all, galaxies are actually more in the shape of geometrical patterns, whether it be hexagons, pentagons, septagons, you name it. So you'll see what I mean whenever you Google it and look it up. It's a real thing. It's being filtered out along with so many other things. Again, I do want to get into some of those truths too. And I almost, and I think I will eventually come out with a whole video just talking about what they're hiding and all the truths. And, well, that goes hand in hand, but I think I will, just to surprise everybody. But I went to end on that note, so in the future you've got a time video coming, you've got a sacred geometry video coming, along with anything else. And you guys too, if you want to leave me some comments and if you would like me to speak about anything in particular, if you want to request any subjects or anything you'd like validated or anything, you just shoot me a comment. Let me know what you guys are wanting to hear. I'll come on and speak about it, answer your questions as well. Thank you guys for being there very much. I do appreciate the support. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have anybody to talk about, and I probably wouldn't. So thank you for being there. Love you all. Have a good evening.